Good morning, Hattiesburg. We're here to talk about community issues. Mr. Woullard, a lot of stuff going on in the community, a lot of things happening around the state that are affecting folks in the hub city, and one of those is Initiative 42. Tell us what you feel about Initiative 42 and the full funding of MAEP and what that means for the folks in your district.
First of all, good morning or good afternoon. I would like to take this time to really talk to you about the Initiative 42. I feel that it's one of the most important pieces of legislation that we will deal with in our time. Our legislature did agree to fully fund education, so we're expecting them to hold to their word. Well, when it came time for them to do that, and 100,000 people signed their name on a petition and said, we want public education fully funded. Then for the first time in the history of our legislature, they came up with an alternative initiative. So it's important that we get out and vote and understand the issues that are involved with Initiative 42. One of the main things is that money or funds will be made available on a level that will sustain public education. If you don't remember anything else, it's sustaining public education at a level that all schools can be financially sound, and that's important. You know, if you wonder why one school is better prepared than another school, either it's outside support or they have the state support. But I promise you the support is coming from somewhere. Now, those schools who get outside support will continue to get that support. So it's important that we make sure that those schools who are not in neighborhoods or not in cities where people can write checks toward public education, toward education, period, and make a difference or make up the difference, that it's important that we fully fund education for our students because it has so many ramifications. Education has tentacles into everything. If your kids cannot fill out a job application, their chances of getting a job is nil to none. It was a survey done, and in Mississippi, the average prisoner in our system reads on a fourth grade level or below. So that in itself tells you that it's important that we invest in our people on the front end and not wait to invest in them on the back end. It costs about anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000 to educate a child in school. It costs us anywhere from $25,000 to $35,000 to house him in prison. So now you do the math. We can pay a third of the cost up front, or we can pay two more thirds onto that third on the back end. So it's simple math for us. It's economics. Either you invest on the front end in the maintenance and the care of a vehicle or your house or anything else, or then it becomes a major repair on the back end. So that's what we want to try to do with this initiative, and that's what it does. It fully funds education to a point that we can adequately educate our students here in Mississippi. And maybe one day we won't be last in education if we fund it on the front end now.
All right. Tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, where you went to school, and how you relate to the Hattiesburg community.
First of all, Jason, I was born and raised right here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I went through kindergarten, actually under my mother and Miss Mays at Happy Land Kindergarten, which is right across the street from Mary Bethune Elementary School. I attended Mary Bethune Public Education. From there to Lily Burney Junior High Public Education. 2 years at Rowan High School, and then we graduated in 72, which I guess I'm dating myself now. We graduated from HHS, Hattiesburg High School. So all of my formal education through high school has been through the public school district. From there to Jackson State, and from Jackson State to Lincoln University. After Lincoln University, the military. But my formative years, all of the base that I needed to do all other things that I did was done because of what I got in the Hattiesburg Public School District. So it was a great foundation for me. It gave me what I needed, and I want to see it flourish.
And then you now serve on the Board of Supervisors for Forrest County in District 4. Exactly where is District 4? What areas of the community are included in District 4?
District 4 includes, let's start on the very southern end. You have a McLaurin district. You also, which is on the southern end of the county. Then you'll come on up to the Dixie Pine area, which is the Palmer's Crossing area. From there, Salvation Army area, Rowan, Lily Burney, Court Street, and part of Camp will enclose. And also we have a new area into District 4 that's never been a part of us before on that southwest end, which is Sheeplow.
Great. Now, as a supervisor for Forrest County, you have a lot of experience working with the schools. Tell us a little bit about working with the school district and how you became familiar with education through that work.
Since I've been supervisor, we have funded, and this is where the funds are collected for our county schools. We do not collect funds for our city school. That's done through the mayor and council. But for our county schools, all that is collected through us. This year's budget is around $7 million. That's the county part that our resident pays the taxes on. Now, the state is responsible for the rest, and the federal government, whichever title funds that we can get because of our certifications or because of our needs. So we fund actually about $7 million with the county for their county funds. Also, at the end of the year, there's something called a shortfall. If they have a shortfall in their funding, they come back to us. Mm-hmm. And we're responsible for making sure that they get that shortfall. And we have worked well with the county schools on that, and the same thing for the city schools. Now, I think that Forrest County has a unique relationship with our city schools because we have helped just about every time they have come to us and asked us for a project, whether it was helping them to finish the baseball fields and some of the buildings there, or whether it was helping them after the storm. Mm-hmm. And we did new buildings around the stadiums where the coaches are now. Forrest County participated very greatly in that. And we also work with them. We take out ads through the programs throughout the year. Don't just support sports. We support forensics and some of the other programs that they do. Mm-hmm. So we work with all our students in the county, and we do the same thing in Petal. Mm-hmm. You know, with the Petal Public School District, we aren't one-sided in what we do. We understand that all of our students, if we prepare them, then we have a better Forrest County. Without them, there is no future. So we work hard to work with all of our county schools.
Okay, we talked about education a little bit. Let's shift some gears. Let's talk a little bit about our utilities.
Over 2 years ago, we had a meeting with the power company where they invited churches, they invited governmental officials, basically anybody who wanted to come to a luncheon, and they had it at the power company in one of the rooms in the building where you actually pay your bills on Pine Street. Well, their topic was that an 18% increase was coming. Well, really at the time they were discussing a 22% increase. It was going to come at 18% and then the rest later on. Well, since that time, we've had lawsuits to delay it. We're going to be getting a refund back. But at the end, I think the 18% will prevail because of the plant and other things that's being built to provide us energy. With that being said, I saw two areas that were going to be problematic. One of those areas were seniors. The others was people on fixed income. If you have no way to increase your income and you're living off $800 a month and your utility bill goes up by 18%, it's hard for you to make that adjustment with no more income. So as we discuss those things, as we discuss the seniors, as we discussed income being limited, one of the things that we came up with the power company in that discussion was going to the low-income homes as well as the seniors and offering something that would offset the 18%. I asked them if they would do 500 slots for the Palmer's Crossing area. The power company agreed to do it. We took 3 months, had people to sign up. At the end of the day, when the dust cleared, between 125 and 130 people actually signed up to have their homes weatherized, whether that was insulation in the ceiling, whether that was caulking around the windows, sealing doors, whatever it would do to try to help them get an 18% reduction in the cost of their bill, which could offset it. Well, that went well, but we did not use all of our slots. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to have a round 2 that we're discussing with the power company, that they're going to have people signing up. They're going to come back with another 500 slots. They're going to spread that all over the city, and with the ability, with the option to increase those numbers. So I'm going to be talking to you about signing up to get your house weatherized. If not, you're going to have dollars going under your door, dollars going out of your windows, and dollars going through your roof. So let's get ready to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. And that weatherizing and adjustments there, that's at no cost to the residents.
No cost to the residents.
Mississippi Power is coming in and they're doing all of that work for the residents here, just to try to help, our folks deal with some of this, potential increase that's coming, try to offset some of that cost. And it's because, we were able to reach out to Mississippi Power and really advocate on behalf of the residents,
exactly,
in the face of this looming increase. Okay, we've talked about some of that now. Another utility that we are dealing with, of course, that everybody's talking about is the wastewater treatment, how we're going about doing that, and then how we're going to fund the treatment of that. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and what it means for District 4?
We will be affected all across District 4 except in the Sheeplow area and also in the McLaurin area. But the rest of District 4 will be affected greatly by this. My position, my official position on this is that it does not matter to us as residents which system they use other than cost. If one would be more cost effective than the other, we definitely want to use that system. But I really think as far as cost is concerned, it's going to be 6 in one hand and a half dozen in the other. Whichever system we use, we're going to end up with around $150,000, $150 million that we're going to have to pay back over a 30-year period, which is going to turn into $630 million over that 30-year period. We have a couple other hurdles that we're going to have to jump along with that. Ms. Delgado drew a drawing on a napkin as we sat and eat one day, and she explained this process. We still have to worry about our infrastructure. How do we get the product from the homeowner's house or from the business house to the facility to be treated? That's going to be an ongoing problem because most of Hattiesburg proper is probably 60 to 100 years old. Now, some of it we have replaced, some of it we hadn't. Plus, while you're replacing that, you still have to maintain what you have. So I don't see an amount that we can go up on individuals and businesses that's going to be adequate to pay these bills and also maintain the cost of maintenance on our system. So with that being said, there has to be some alternatives. And right now, the greatest I think alternative is to be able to put a 1 cent or 2 cent sales tax on through the legislature. Now that's done by them giving us permission to vote ourselves to put a tax on ourselves. Now, why is that fair? If I live in Summerall and I decide to drive up to one of our eateries here and I decide to use that facility, then I get a chance to help pay for it with my taxes that I pay on the meal. I think that's fair. Everybody who uses the system gets a chance to help pay for it. Not just the residents, not just the businesses, because we're going to have to be careful with putting costs on businesses. Businesses can locate anywhere they want to locate.
Right.
I mean, we have county lines drawn, but that does not stop them. It's not a toll booth to say you can't go outside of our county.
Right.
So when our water bills go up, when the cost of business goes up for doing business in Hattiesburg, whether it's in taxes, whether it's in water costs, people look for other places that they don't have to pay that. So those people who choose to live outside the city, but frequent the city, whether it's eating, working, whatever it is, I'm sure that they really want the opportunity to help pay for this.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, you've been listening to Forest County Supervisor District 4, Mr. Rod Woullard, and we will see you again next week.
Thank you very much.